In this video, we're going to take a look at how to use the Shape Builder tool. Now that you're a little bit better with using the basic shapes, you can actually combine different shapes in a few ways. So in the last video, we looked at how to make the shapes, and again, this is the basic shapes tool here. If you hold your mouse down on it, different shapes will pop up. The only one I wouldn't recommend you guys play with too much is the Flare tool, just because it'll slow down your computer. So I kind of forgot to mention that in the last video. But if I make two shapes and I have them overlap each other, I can use what we already know along with one other tool to kind of modify them. And again, I'm going to be using the selection tool for this, and remember that's different than the direct selection tool, because the direct selection tool is the one that allowed us to grab just one dot, and then when I clicked on it and let go, I could drag it wherever I want. This time I need to select the entire object, so that's why I'm using this black arrow to do this. So the first thing I want to do if I want to combine these two shapes is select both of them. Now, there's a couple ways I can do this. I can drag a box around both of them, and now they're both selected. The way I can tell that is you can see they're kind of highlighted here with that bounding box it's called around them. The other thing that I could have done is I could have clicked on one and let go, held shift, and clicked on the second one. The reason that's useful is maybe we have a situation where I have three objects like this, and I only want to select two of them. Well, if I drag a box around this, I just selected all three of these, and I may not want that third one. That may actually mess up what I'm trying to do. So again, what I can do is I can click on one, hold shift, click on the other one. Then if I wanted some other object, I can continue holding shift and click on as many things as I needed to. So it's kind of good to know. So again, I'm just going to use two objects right now. Doesn't matter what shape they are, and I'm going to select both of them. However you need to do that, make it happen. The tool I'm going to use is called Shape Builder. That's this one right here. It may be buried underneath either your live paint bucket or your live paint selection tool, but again, that's it right there. It's called Shape Builder. And with this tool, if I have the object selected, you'll see this gray kind of bouncing around them as I move my mouse around. If you don't see that, chances are you forgot to select it. That is absolutely the big mistake everybody forgets along the way, is they'll forget to select the shapes. They'll go to Shape Builder, and you'll kind of wonder, well, like, why is that not working? As I try to drag lines and do things, nothing's happening. So if I want to combine these shapes, all I need to do is I take this tool, and I can drag a line between the chunks that I want to combine. The way you'll know you got this right is if you have two different fill colors in there, or more than two fill colors, it'll all change to that one fill color because they're now one thing. I'm going to undo that. To undo, it's Command Z. That's kind of helpful to know too. Command and Z will undo, and you can keep going back pretty far in Illustrator. If I want to delete a chunk of something, it's almost the same thing, except on my keyboard I'm going to hold Option. This would be Alt on a regular keyboard, but on our Mac keyboards it's Option. And what I would do is I would click on, or I can drag again, but I can also just click this time on the chunk that I want to get rid of. So say I wanted that chunk to go away. Now I have that. So now if I switch back to my selection tools, you can see what happened here. I now have two shapes where those pieces kind of got removed. So let's say, for example, I wanted a half circle. I knew that from the beginning. Well, I made a circle, and then I could make a rectangle that I don't plan on using for anything except cutting the circle. That's really the only purpose for this thing. I'm going to get rid of this rectangle later. So again, to do this, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take and I'm going to select both objects. I'm going to click on one, hold shift, click on the other one, and again, the other method I could have dragged the big box around this. Now I go to the Shape Builder tool, and because I'm trying to delete, not combine these things, I'm going to hold Option, and you can see even the cursor switches from a plus to a minus, and I can drag a line across these, or I could click on these pieces individually. And now I have that half circle that I wanted. If I want to modify this even more, I could go to my direct selection tool, and I can move these points around. So you really can get pretty much any shape that you need just by using your basic shapes, your direct selection tool, and your Shape Builder tool. Alright, thank you.